Hello friends. What if I told you that being born on February 26th means you weren't just shaped by the stars, but by multiple layers of cosmic influence, from numerology to Druidic trees to the powerful weight of gemstones and ancient Vedic wisdom? Today, we're unraveling the mystical blueprint of people born on February 26th, a date that holds secrets about your love life, your purpose, your passions, and the unique energy you bring to the world. Ready to discover what makes this birthday one of the most spiritually rich and intuitively gifted in the zodiac? Let's begin. The Pisces core Western zodiac. Born on February 26th, you are a Pisces, and not just any Pisces, you're a Pisces in its deepest, dreamiest, and most psychic form. Your ruling planet, Neptune, gifts you with imagination, spiritual depth, and an almost supernatural sensitivity to emotions, yours and others. But there's more. You're born in the third decan of Pisces, which is influenced by Pluto, the planet of transformation. This gives your dreamy Pisces nature an intense, mysterious twist. You're not just here to feel, you're here to transform, often going through deep emotional or even spiritual awakenings multiple times in your life. Love, deep, poetic, and soul-tied. If you're born on February 26th, love isn't casual, it's sacred. You don't seek mere companionship. You crave a connection that feels eternal, like the two of you were carved from the same cosmic source. Your love is soaked in meaning. When you fall, it's not just affection, it's devotion. You idealize your partners with a poetic lens, believing in their beauty, even when they can't see it themselves. This makes you an extraordinary lover, but it also opens the door to heartbreak when reality doesn't match your romantic expectations. You love like a mystic. Your heart isn't interested in predictable or shallow. You want love that surprises you, awakens you, and stretches your spirit. You're often drawn to people with complicated pasts or deep emotional wounds, not because you enjoy drama, but because you instinctively want to heal. You feel an almost karmic pull toward certain souls, especially those who seem lost, misunderstood, or broken. It's not uncommon for you to enter relationships that feel more like spiritual missions than romances. In matters of the heart, your intuition is unmatched. You often know what your partner needs before they speak. You sense their inner world, feel their moods, and notice subtle shifts in their energy. This makes you incredibly nurturing and attentive, but it also means you absorb their emotional weight, sometimes to your own detriment. Without conscious boundaries, you can lose yourself in someone else's feelings, forgetting your own needs in the process. You thrive when you feel emotionally safe and spiritually seen. Love has to feel magical, yes, but also honest. You long for vulnerability, shared dreams, and someone who understands that love, to you, is an act of deep soul recognition. The most satisfying relationships for you are built on empathy, emotional growth, and quiet moments of sacred connection. You don't need fireworks, you need feeling. Heartbreak hits you harder than most. Even short relationships can haunt you for years. You replay conversations, wonder what went wrong, and imagine different outcomes. But here's where your strength lies. Every love story, no matter how painful, becomes a part of your spiritual evolution. You grow through love. You learn compassion, forgiveness, and self-worth by navigating your own romantic shadows. You're never destroyed by love, only remade by it. Ultimately, your journey in love is about remembering this truth. You are not here to save people. You are here to love fully, but not at the cost of your own soul. When you love from a place of wholeness instead of sacrifice, your relationships become transformative in the best way. Not because they complete you, but because they meet you, fully, honestly, beautifully, where you already are. Marriage, sacred union, not social contract. To you, marriage isn't just a box to check off, it's a soul contract. It's the intertwining of two life paths, sealed not just with vows, but with energetic alignment. When you commit to someone in marriage, you do it with every fiber of your being, emotionally, spiritually, even cosmically. You see marriage as a sacred space for healing, creativity, and evolution, not just shared bills and date nights. You give your entire emotional self to your partner. In marriage, you become a mirror, a muse, a guide, and a sanctuary. You want your home to feel like a retreat, peaceful, full of love, emotionally safe. You're deeply romantic, often writing love notes, surprising your partner with quiet gestures of affection, or planning meaningful experiences instead of material gifts. Marriage, for you, is about emotional intimacy and shared dreams. However, this depth of devotion comes with a risk: self-erasure. You may become so invested in your partner's happiness that you forget your own. You may compromise too much, silence your own needs, or avoid conflict in order to keep the peace. Over time, this can lead to emotional imbalance, where you give more than you receive, and begin to feel invisible within your own union. To thrive in marriage, you need a partner who not only loves you, but sees you, someone emotionally intelligent, spiritually curious, and willing to meet you halfway. A mature Cancer can bring comfort and emotional depth. A grounded Taurus can offer stability and loyalty. A deep-thinking Scorpio can match your intensity and mirror your spiritual hunger. Even a logical Capricorn, if emotionally open, can offer structure and a safe container for your creativity. You may go through multiple serious relationships before you find the one, and that's okay. Every connection teaches you how to love better, not just your partner, but yourself. Once you find that lasting bond, your marriage becomes your spiritual garden, a space to grow individually and together. You support your partner's healing while also nurturing your own. In conflict, you often shut down or become passive-aggressive rather than confront directly. It's not because you don't care, it's because conflict overwhelms your emotional nervous system. But true marriage requires communication. Learning to voice your needs and set boundaries without guilt will elevate your marriage from poetic to powerful. When your needs are honored and your love reciprocated, you become the heart of the relationship, the one who keeps love alive not just with words, but with soulful presence. Your dream marriage isn't perfect, but it's real, kind, safe, and always evolving. Sex, energetic, healing, and otherworldly. Sex, for you, is more than pleasure, it's alchemy. It's the invisible language of soul meeting soul. When you're with someone you trust, intimacy becomes a sacred ritual, not just a physical act. You don't crave friction, you crave fusion. You want to melt, dissolve, and disappear into another person's energy. And if love is present, the experience becomes borderline transcendental. You often sense a partner's desires without them speaking. Your touch is intuitive, your pace is emotional, and your focus is always connection over performance. You can slow time in the bedroom, creating an atmosphere of deep trust, play, and spiritual openness. For you, the best sex is emotionally synchronized, where both partners are vulnerable, fully present, and emotionally naked, not just physically. This means you don't do well with casual hookups. You may try it in moments of loneliness, rebellion, or experimentation, but more often than not, you end up feeling emotionally depleted afterward. Your body may have enjoyed the moment, but your soul didn't feel fed. And because you absorb energy like a sponge, sex with the wrong person can leave you confused, sad, or even spiritually drained. You're also highly imaginative. Your sexual expression thrives in fantasy, role-play, and dreamlike sensuality. Candlelight, soft music, deep eye contact, and unspoken chemistry all speak to your erotic soul. You're a giver in bed, deeply focused on your partner's pleasure, but the best experiences happen when both of you are open-hearted and equally invested. Boundaries are crucial. You may be tempted to say yes, just to please a partner or avoid rejection. But your most fulfilling experiences come when you honor your own desires and limits. Consent and communication don't kill the mood, they deepen the connection. Your ideal sexual partner is someone who values trust, emotion, and intimacy as much as you do. A Scorpio can offer unmatched depth and passion. A Cancer brings softness and nurturing. A Taurus offers sensuality and patience. Even a Virgo, with their attention to detail and quiet devotion, can surprise you with how deeply they can love. Spiritually speaking, your sexuality is a healing force. It helps you process emotions, bond deeply, and even unlock creative or psychic energy. Treat it like sacred energy, because for you, it truly is. The bedroom isn't just for release. It's where your body becomes a bridge between the seen and unseen, between two souls who dare to meet without masks. When you feel safe, cherished, and emotionally connected, your sexuality becomes one of your greatest gifts, not just to your partner, but to yourself. Friendship Soul Tribe. If you were born on February 26th, friendship isn't something you treat lightly, it's sacred space. You are the emotional first responder in your inner circle. You listen not just with your ears, but with your entire energy field. Friends feel safe around you because you see them. Not just the polished version they show to the world, but their raw, scared, beautiful truth. When someone opens up to you, they walk away feeling lighter, clearer, like they've been seen by a mirror that doesn't judge, only reflects love. You're also the keeper of secrets. People tell you things they've never said out loud. It's not because you ask, it's because your vibration is trustworthy. You create an energetic container where shame disappears. Strangers on trains talk to you. Coworkers confide in you. Even friends of friends find themselves unexpectedly spilling their hearts over a cup of tea. This ability to hold emotional space is one of your superpowers, and one that can make you the emotional anchor of your friend group. But here's where it gets complicated. You're too good at absorbing. Like a sponge dropped into the ocean, you soak up everyone's moods, traumas, and anxieties. You carry the emotional weight of others so quietly that most people never realize you're struggling. Over time, this can lead to burnout, overwhelm, or even periods of withdrawal where you isolate just to find yourself again. That's why boundaries aren't just healthy for you, they're necessary for survival. Your ideal friends understand this about you. They don't just take, they give. They ask how you are, not just when you're needed, but on an ordinary Tuesday. They understand your need for solitude isn't rejection, it's recalibration. Your soul tribe consists of people who respect your emotional cycles, your dreamy nature, and your deep need for sincerity. You don't do fake, you don't do surface level. If someone can't meet you in your emotional depth, the connection won't last long. You thrive in friendships with fellow water signs like Cancer, who nurtures you, or Scorpio, who meets your intensity and loyalty with equal force. Earth signs like Taurus or Virgo provide grounding, helping you come back to yourself when you get lost in other people's emotional tides. And a wise, emotionally mature Capricorn can be a rock for your drifting heart, offering stability without demanding you change. At your best, you're the friend who reminds people who they really are when they forget. You celebrate their light but also sit beside them in their shadow. And while your circle may be small, it's deeply connected. You don't need 100 friends, you need a handful of soul-aligned companions who walk beside you, not behind or in front. And when you find those people, you hold on to them for life. Career, business, money. Being born on February 26th means your career isn't just a way to make money, it's a spiritual mission. You aren't wired to chase status or clock in for tasks that feel meaningless. You're here to create, connect, and heal. You're driven by purpose, not paychecks. And while this gives you an incredible ability to do work that touches lives, it also means the traditional workforce can feel suffocating or downright depressing if you're not aligned with your soul's calling. You need your work to mean something. Whether it's helping others heal, telling stories that awaken hearts, or creating art that opens minds, you're most fulfilled when your day-to-day actions have emotional or spiritual resonance. You are the dreamers of the zodiac, yes, but also the visionaries. You see things before others do. You feel cultural shifts. You intuit what people need even before they know how to ask for it. This makes you a natural in fields like therapy, coaching, art, music, nonprofit work, spirituality, or writing, especially genres like fantasy or poetry where imagination and emotion take center stage. You would also thrive as a nurse, hospice worker, or end-of-life doula, roles that require sensitivity, compassion, and emotional intelligence. And don't underestimate your business acumen. With the right partner or support system, you could build an empire rooted in empathy, one that redefines success on your own terms. But here's your biggest obstacle: undervaluing yourself. You're often uncomfortable putting a price tag on your gifts. You may work for free, undercharge, or say yes to unpaid opportunities out of guilt or love for the work. While your intentions are noble, this habit can lead to financial instability or burnout. Remember, energy needs to be exchanged. When you're compensated fairly, you can sustain your service to others without draining your spirit. Money itself isn't your enemy, disconnection from it is. When you begin to see money as a tool for freedom, healing, and creation, your relationship with it shifts. You don't have to become obsessed with wealth, but you do need to learn how to receive. It's not greedy to be abundant. In fact, when your needs are met, you become even more generous, inspired, and impactful. The best support? A grounded advisor or financially savvy friend, ideally an earth sign, who can help you build structure around your dreams. Not to limit you, but to protect your energy and help your work thrive. You bring the magic, let someone else help organize it. Ultimately, your career isn't just what you do, it's who you become. And when you follow your intuition, honor your creativity, and charge what your work is worth, you not only succeed, you transform the lives you touch. Numerology of February 26th, the number 8 vibration. The hidden number behind your birthday, 2 + 6, is 8, and in numerology, this is no ordinary digit. It's a symbol of power, karma, transformation, and mastery of the material world. While your Pisces sun may make you emotional, intuitive, and spiritually inclined, the 8 energy pulls you in a very different direction, one that demands structure, ambition, and accountability. It's this unique tension between ethereal Pisces flow and bold number 8 drive that defines the core dynamic of your life path. At your best, you can blend heart and hustle, bringing soulful ideas into concrete form. The 8 energy gives you a quiet authority. Even if you're not loud or commanding, people sense your leadership. They trust your vision. You carry the weight of old wisdom, and when you speak, it's with a conviction that moves others into action. In many lifetimes, whether past or symbolic, you've dealt with power, sometimes misusing it, sometimes avoiding it. In this life, you're here to make peace with it, to step into it, to own it with grace. There's also a karmic undertone to the number 8, a deep invitation to balance your inner scales. You might notice patterns in your life that repeat until fully faced. Financial highs and lows, power struggles, complicated relationships, all of these are opportunities for growth, not punishment. The faster you embrace the lesson of personal responsibility, the more empowered your path becomes. The number 8 asks you to graduate from victimhood into conscious creation. Financially, 8 is the number of wealth, but that doesn't always mean easy riches. It's about earning, managing, and respecting money as an energy exchange. You may find yourself swinging between extremes, feast and famine, luxury and lack, until you truly believe you're worthy of stable abundance. That belief unlocks the door, and once it's open, your capacity to build wealth with purpose is profound. You're not meant to hoard money, you're meant to use it as a tool for freedom, service, and impact. Another trait of 8 energy? Emotional endurance. You don't crumble under pressure, you evolve through it. Where others might give up, you push forward. When life breaks you open, you don't collapse, you rebuild stronger, more focused, more aligned. This resilience is quiet but fierce. It's in the way you carry burdens without complaint. It's in your ability to plan for the long haul when others are chasing instant results. Relationships, too, reflect the power dynamics of 8. You're drawn to strong, capable people, but you also require emotional equality. If someone tries to dominate you, manipulate you, or underestimate your inner fire, the connection won't last. You may take a while to reveal your full strength in love, but once you do, your presence is undeniable. You're here to love deeply, but also to lead, to challenge, and to co-create balanced partnerships. Ultimately, the number 8 asks you to rise. Rise beyond excuses. Rise into self-worth. Rise into a life that blends the spiritual and material, the mystical and the real. Your greatest gift? Turning visions into value, and helping others do the same. Druid horoscope, the pine tree. In the ancient Celtic tree zodiac, your spirit is rooted in the pine, the mystic realist. This dual nature of mystical vision and grounded presence mirrors your Pisces sun and numerological 8 blend perfectly. You appear calm, self-contained, and almost aloof on the outside. But inside, Your world is a forest of thought, memory, and soul-searching, rich, ancient, and endless in depth. People might underestimate you at first glance, but once they enter your inner space, they realize they've stepped into something sacred and vast. The pine is a symbol of endurance and clarity. You're not easily swayed by fads or superficial trends. There's a timeless quality about you, in your values, in your creative expression, even in the way you move through life. You hold on to ideals, but you're not naive. That's the realist part of the pine identity. You can see through illusions, even when you play along. You might entertain fantasy, but deep down, you never lose touch with what is real, necessary, and lasting. Emotionally, pine individuals are loyal, almost to a fault. You don't form many bonds, but when you do, they run deep. You're the type to love quietly but forever. You hold your people close, often being the one they run to when the world gets too loud. But because of your introspective nature, you sometimes feel lonely in a crowd, not due to lack of affection, but because very few truly understand you. This sense of being other isn't a curse, it's a spiritual invitation. As a pine soul, your life is a journey inward. You find healing in stillness, clarity in solitude, and connection in nature. Trees speak your language, oceans match your rhythm. A walk alone through foggy woods is more restoring to you than 1,000 crowded conversations. You're not antisocial, you're energetically sensitive. Your soul needs clean spaces and deep silences to recharge. Pine people are often incredibly creative, though not always publicly. You may write in secret, paint only for yourself, or dream up entire worlds you never share. But when you do share, the effect is stunning. Your work, whatever form it takes, carries a timeless beauty, grounded in emotion, filtered through wisdom, and anchored in truth. You don't create to impress. You create to express, to leave a mark that outlives the moment. You're also someone who walks the line between the mystical and the practical. You can believe in signs, synchronicity, and dreams, yet still manage to pay the bills and offer grounded advice. That's why people trust you. You're not lost in the clouds, you're rooted, like your tree. And that makes your insight reliable, not just poetic. What restores you most isn't noise, parties, or popularity, it's presence. Stillness, the sound of wind in leaves. A meaningful book, a single real conversation. Your remedy isn't distraction, it's reconnection with what's eternal. The pine reminds you that your strength is your stillness, and your gift is your clarity. You are not here to be everything for everyone. You are here to be true to yourself, and in doing so, become a sanctuary for those who seek what is real. Flower horoscope, the violet. Delicate yet enduring, the violet is your soul's botanical mirror. It doesn't bloom to be seen, it blooms because that's what it was made to do. That's you. You don't crave applause, nor do you need to stand in the spotlight. You move quietly through the world, but your presence lingers long after you've left the room. Like the violet nestled in shadowed woodland, you shine brightest in stillness. When people truly pause and notice you, not the image you project, but the essence beneath, they're often struck by how deeply you radiate grace, intelligence, and emotional purity. The violet symbolizes modesty, not because it lacks strength, but because it doesn't demand attention. You have a humble heart, one that is more interested in meaning than in being seen. This makes your friendships and relationships incredibly authentic. You show up not to impress, but to connect. You listen more than you speak. You don't posture or compete. And in a world addicted to noise and self-promotion, your gentleness becomes radical and refreshing. Faithfulness is another cornerstone of violet energy. When you commit, whether to a person, a project, or a belief, it's with your whole being. You don't flinch in the face of adversity. You stay, you support, you remain emotionally loyal even when others withdraw. Your loved ones may not always understand how deeply you care, because you don't announce it loudly, but when they need you, you are unfailingly present. That kind of devotion is rare. It's the kind that builds trust and quietly holds the world together. Spiritually, the violet is a flower of the mystic. It's long been associated with intuition, dream states, and divine insight. You may find that your connection to the unseen, whether through dreams, synchronicities, or your inner knowing, is unusually strong. You may also be drawn to subtle spiritual practices, energy healing, journaling, herbal medicine, moon rituals, or simply long walks in nature where you feel closest to the divine. There's something ancient in your soul, something wise, and the violet reflects that sacred, contemplative part of you. You're also a natural healer. Without trying, you make people feel safe, soothed, and understood. Your voice can calm anxiety. Your presence eases tension in the room. You have a way of diffusing chaos just by being yourself. And often, you don't even realize how much your energy affects others. Like the violet, whose aroma is delicate but unforgettable, your influence is often subconscious and transformative. At times, your softness may be mistaken for weakness. But let's be clear, the violet is resilient. It survives through cold, grows in shade, and blooms where others won't. Your quiet strength is what allows you to weather emotional storms with your integrity intact. You don't push, you endure. You don't shout, you shine silently. In a world that often celebrates loudness over substance, the violet teaches that beauty lies in authenticity. And you, violet soul, remind others, just by being, that the softest presence can carry the deepest truth. Stone horoscope, amethyst. The amethyst is more than just your birthstone, it's your energetic match, your psychic amplifier, your spiritual shield. Its deep purple hue speaks to higher wisdom, deep knowing, and the kind of peace that comes from connection to the unseen. For someone born on February 26th, this crystal isn't just beautiful, it's essential medicine for the soul. You walk through the world with your energy field wide open. You pick up moods, thoughts, even traumas from people and spaces, sometimes without realizing it. The amethyst protects you from that psychic overload. It's like a violet-colored armor for the empathic warrior. When you wear it, sleep near it, or meditate with it, it acts as a filter, allowing in inspiration, guidance, and love, while blocking out noise, anxiety, and other people's emotional baggage. This is more than protection, it's energetic sovereignty. Amethyst is also a stone of spiritual insight. For you, this isn't a buzzword, it's a lifeline. Your mind often drifts into symbolic thought. You seek meaning in the abstract, clarity in mystery, and purpose in the poetic. The amethyst enhances this connection by strengthening your third eye, your intuitive center. It helps sharpen your inner vision, making it easier to trust those gut feelings and coincidences that guide you toward truth. With amethyst nearby, dreams become more vivid, meditation more revealing, and decision-making more intuitive. This stone also supports emotional balance. When life gets loud, when people need too much, when the world demands too fast, when your own heart feels pulled in too many directions, amethyst is the friend who reminds you to breathe, to pause, to return to center. It calms racing thoughts, soothes frayed nerves, and invites you into a state of emotional clarity where your feelings can move without overwhelming you. Placed under your pillow or near your bed, amethyst becomes a guardian of sleep. It protects your dream space, helping you process the day's energy without dragging emotional debris into the night. For someone with your sensitivity, sleep isn't just rest, it's spiritual restoration. Amethyst supports that process by ensuring the dream world remains a sanctuary, not a battleground. Energetically, amethyst is aligned with the crown chakra, the bridge to your higher self. For you, this isn't a concept, it's a lived experience. You often receive inspiration not through logic, but through whispers from beyond. You might feel things before they happen, sense emotions before they're spoken, or be drawn to people for reasons you can't explain. Amethyst helps you make peace with this gift, turning it from something confusing into something empowering. On a practical level, amethyst also encourages clarity in communication. When worn during important conversations, interviews, or creative work, it helps you speak from your truth without fear, blending intellect with intuition. If you've ever felt your voice tremble when your soul wants to roar, amethyst can be your anchor. More than a gemstone, amethyst is a teacher. It teaches presence. It teaches protection. It teaches power without aggression and vision without distortion. It reminds you that your sensitivity is not your flaw, it's your compass. And when you trust it, you begin to live from the deepest, most aligned part of who you are. Vedic astrology. Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Born on February 26, your soul is likely imprinted with the energy of Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, one of the most enigmatic and spiritually charged lunar mansions in Vedic astrology. Governed by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, truth, and philosophy, this nakshatra doesn't settle for surface answers. It pushes you to search deeper, beyond the illusion of appearances, past the veil of ordinary life. You are not simply intuitive, you are visionary, carrying within you an ancient fire that burns for truth, transformation, and transcendence. Purva Bhadrapada is symbolized by a two-faced man, representing duality, a central theme in your life. You walk between two worlds, the material and the spiritual, the logical and the emotional, the human and the divine. You may feel like a paradox, craving peace while feeling restless, desiring connection while needing solitude, drawn to both order and chaos. This internal complexity isn't a flaw, it's a portal. You learn by living in contrast, by balancing light and shadow, and eventually integrating them into a higher understanding of yourself and reality. There's an undeniable shamanic undertone to your path. Even if you've never studied mysticism formally, you are naturally drawn to sacred texts, hidden meanings, and metaphysical questions. Death, dreams, the afterlife, ancient philosophies, these aren't frightening topics for you. They're invitations to awaken. You carry a soul memory of lifetimes spent as a spiritual teacher, seeker, or even an oracle. In this life, that wisdom filters through your thoughts, dreams, and emotional insights, often giving you answers you don't logically understand, but instinctively trust. People with Purva Bhadrapada energy often undergo powerful spiritual transformations. You may experience dramatic turning points, events that strip away the false and leave you raw but real. These moments aren't breakdowns, they're breakthroughs. They teach you how to surrender, to let go of control, and to rebuild your life on truth rather than illusion. Through each dark night of the soul, you rise stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your purpose. This nakshatra also bestows a fierce sense of integrity. You can't stand pretense, manipulation, or shallow ambitions. You're not here to chase approval, you're here to live meaningfully. You crave depth in your relationships, passion in your work, and soul in every part of your existence. When you're aligned, you inspire others simply by being real. Your presence awakens, your words carry weight, your gaze sees beyond the mask. At times, you may feel misunderstood, even isolated. Not everyone can grasp your emotional and spiritual depth. But solitude is your sacred teacher. It's where your insights crystallize. It's where your truth becomes unshakable. Lean into that space. It's not loneliness, it's initiation. Ultimately, being born under Purva Bhadrapada means you're not here for the ordinary path. You're here to transform yourself and others, to challenge dogma, to question systems, and to bring light into the shadows. Yours is the energy of the sacred disruptor, the one who breaks illusions so that something real can grow. Your soul mission. You are not here to follow a pre-written script. You are here to write a new one, a script that redefines what it means to live with soul, heart, and higher purpose. Your mission is not to fit neatly into boxes or titles, but to dissolve them. You are meant to be the bridge between emotion and reason, spirit and form, heaven and earth. That may sound poetic, but for you, it's deeply personal. You feel this calling, even if you can't always explain it. It hums beneath your daily life, a quiet urgency to make your existence matter in a way that transcends the ordinary. This mission begins within. You are not called to change the world by force, but by elevation. Your gift is your capacity to feel, to intuit, to dream of something better, not just for yourself, but for others. But you cannot give from a cup that's empty. That's your first spiritual lesson. You must heal yourself first, not as a selfish act, but as the foundation for everything else you're here to do. Your peace is not optional, it's sacred fuel for your greater purpose. You are here to create systems that honor the soul, whether that takes the form of art, healing, leadership, teaching, or something unconventional. You are here to infuse compassion, vision, and spiritual truth into places that have long been ruled by cold logic or disconnected ambition. You see the cracks in the old way of doing things, the lifeless traditions, the mechanical routines, the superficial connections, and you instinctively know, there is another way. You don't just imagine it, you embody it. You are the one who listens when no one else does, the one who dreams when others settle, the one who questions when others conform. That's not rebellion for rebellion's sake, it's clarity. You see the invisible patterns. You feel the future before it arrives. You know that empathy is strength, and that vulnerability is a doorway to connection, not a weakness to be hidden. Your mission is to live that truth, and in doing so, give others permission to do the same. Don't be surprised if your path takes unexpected turns. You are not meant for linear progress. Your soul grows in spirals, through seasons of retreat and emergence, silence and creation. At times, you may doubt yourself or feel like you're falling behind. You're not. You are incubating. You are gathering the depth and experience that will one day make you not just wise, but transformational. And remember this, the lives you touch may never be able to name what you gave them. But they will remember the feeling, the way you made them feel safe, seen, and inspired. That is your legacy, not in monuments, but in awakening. Your mission is not small. It was never meant to be. But it starts, always, with this quiet, powerful act, coming home to yourself. Aesthetic vibe. If your soul had a color, it would be lavender purple, soft enough to soothe, deep enough to suggest mystery. This is the color of dreamers, healers, and visionaries. It's not loud or flashy. It doesn't demand to be seen. It just is, radiating peace and presence like a secret only the emotionally attuned can feel. Lavender is spiritual without being pretentious, graceful without being fragile, and that's exactly your essence. People don't always notice you first, but when they do, they often find themselves quietly mesmerized. There's a gentleness to your presence that invites others to breathe deeper, to feel safer, to come home to themselves. If you were a season, you'd be that delicate threshold between late winter and early spring, when the snow hasn't completely melted, but the crocuses have started pushing through the soil. This is the space between endings and beginnings, stillness and motion, grief and hope. You carry that in your energy. The ability to hold contradictions, to sit in quiet without rushing the moment, to believe in what's growing even when no one else sees it yet. Like the season you mirror, you're not here to bloom loudly, you're here to awaken slowly, intentionally, and with deep magic. If you were a song, you'd be something hauntingly beautiful and emotionally layered, something like Holocene by Bon Iver. A melody that doesn't beg for attention, but lingers in your chest long after it ends. That song is a perfect reflection of your emotional and artistic depth, the way you can make people feel something real, even if they can't quite name what it is. Your vibe is cinematic, poetic, not easily defined by genre or trend. You don't fit into one mood, you create one. Your aesthetic isn't curated, it's felt. You surround yourself with textures and tones that bring comfort. Soft knits, worn in books, diffused candlelight, music that moves slowly. Your world is designed for soul restoration, not performance. Even your style tends to follow feeling over fashion, romantic details, muted palettes, maybe a touch of vintage or bohemian influence. You dress like someone who remembers their dreams, even in daylight. Emotionally, your vibe is intuitive. You walk into a room and read the energy before anyone speaks. You feel when something's off. You understand the unsaid. People may not know why they feel better in your presence, they just do. It's not about what you say, but how you exist, softly, kindly, and with deep attunement. You're not a trend, you're a frequency. People who resonate with you don't just notice your beauty, they remember how your presence made them feel understood. And in a world that's always rushing, always shouting, always seeking, you are the pause that reminds them there's still power in the quiet. Final thought. You, February 26th soul, are not here to blend in. You are here to gently change the world, not with noise or ego, but with the quiet strength of authenticity. In a time where people mistake harshness for leadership and numbness for survival, your existence reminds us of something sacred. That softness is not weakness, it is wisdom. Your mission isn't to shout louder, it's to listen deeper, to move slower, to hold space for what others ignore. You are the keeper of emotional intelligence, the translator of soul signals, the one who makes dreams not only imaginable, but believable. You don't follow paths, you feel them. You don't chase goals, you align with purpose. That's your quiet revolution. You are here to remind others that tenderness heals. That being misunderstood doesn't make you wrong, it makes you rare. That loving deeply, even after being hurt, is not foolish, it's courageous. You are a lighthouse for the emotionally lost, the spiritually hungry, the dreamers in hiding. And you don't even have to try, your very being does the work. So trust your instincts, follow your weird, feel everything. Let your heartbreaks deepen your compassion instead of harden your heart. Let your mistakes become metaphors for growth. Let your voice, no matter how soft, carry the message only you were born to give. Heal at your own pace. Shine in your own way. And know this, you are not behind. You are not broken. You are not invisible. You are becoming, beautifully, purposefully, exactly on time. If any part of this resonated with you, don't let it fade. Bookmark it, share it with someone who needs it. Say it out loud, write it on your mirror. And if you want to keep walking this cosmic path, hit that like button, subscribe for more soul deep insights, and check the description for your personalized astrology breakdown. You weren't meant to live a life that just looks good. You were meant to live a life that feels like truth. The stars are watching. Are you listening?